Hello again. Hi, it's Emily Wardrop from Drop the Ward Life Coaching. And today I'm going to share with you one of the most important, I think, tips, tricks, tool, whatever you want to call it, for dropping the war with your child so that you can find peace in your parenting. That's what we're all about here. So this one I call connection for cooperation. So power struggles happen because you have an agenda and your child has an agenda and you both want what you want. And probably you're both pretty strong-willed. So you're hanging on tight to that rope. Now, basically every tip, trick, tool, whatever you want to call it, right, that I'll teach you is how for you to let go of that rope. Because if you're not tugging back, the kid is not tugging either. They've got nowhere to go. You let go and they go flying, right? In tug of war. We don't really want them to go flying, but we do want to cut that resistance, right? Because the more you tug on somebody's agency, they're going to tug right back. It's a natural, wonderful thing about being a human, is that we want what we want and we don't want people to tell us what to do. And we like to think that that's kind of a bad thing sometimes, but it's totally fine. It's great. We just have to know how to work with it. And we do not want to kill that wonderful aspect out of our children. We want to nourish it. It's so good for them to have that that strong will that's going to serve them really well in their life. So we want to work with it. We want to figure out how to get cooperation without the power struggle. And the key is connection. So connection breeds cooperation. Just think about it with an adult. If somebody was telling you what to do all day long, right? Just barking orders at you all day, telling you you're doing it wrong. Don't do that. Don't do that. Do this. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, all day long. What? Who wants to cooperate with that, right? So our kids are people also, and they have their own will. And when we are doing that all day, just telling them what to do, telling them what not to do, just stop, 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 stop. What message is that sending them and internalizing in them is that they're doing it wrong and that they're wrong. And that's not what we want them to believe, right? They are wonderful. They are great. And they are perfect just as they are, even if they spill Cheerios all over the floor. Whatever it is that they're doing that we get so heated about, it's not their fault. It's our own, which is what I teach you how to do, right? Is to keep your own power, your own accountability for your thoughts, your feelings, your actions. So if the kid throws cereal all over the floor and you get mad about it, it's really not about the cereal. It's about the whatever thought was in between. So, but when we get mad about it and we think it's their fault, they think it's their fault and they internalize it. That's where I got on that tangent from, right? And so we don't, anyway, that's a tangent on a tangent. The point is that in order to get them to cooperate with us, we need connection. So first thing in the morning, they've been in bed all night, and that was a separation of the connection, right? Bedtime is a disaster for a lot of reasons, but one of them is they know that there's about to be a separation from that connection. They literally were connected to us in our womb, and then all of a sudden they get thrown out, and then the older they get, they do need to separate from us, but in a connected way. It's always going to be important for them to be connected to us. And so when their emotions are all haywire, we can literally recalibrate them by, like, when we're calm, when we give them a hug to help them feel better, they're really, there's mirror neurons in their bodies that are helping them soothe also. At all ages, right? You see it for sure with newborns and babies, but forever. And so anyway, connection is important. So when they wake up in the morning, they've had this whole, hopefully, good night, long sleep of separation from us. They need that connection. And that's why in the morning, sometimes they're totally berserk. So when we start their day, like, hurry, we gotta go, let's get to school, put your shoes on, brush your teeth, have some cereal, la, 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 and it's chaos. That is just setting the stage for the whole rest of the day in chaos, right? And we're trying to find peace in the chaos. The kids are kids, right? And we're not trying to control their behavior. They're going to behave like kids. But we need to be adults and figure out how to control our own selves. And part of that starts with first thing in the morning. So that's the first tip, the first place to think about connection. is if it involves waking up a few minutes earlier so that you can do like a gentle wake up, if you need to be waking them up for something and they need to get going, then as connected as possible, to just let them know how much you love them, feel that connection. And it's like magic. It's really fun. So my daughters all need that connection all at the same time, right? If they wake up at the same time. So it's a little tricky to figure out. But you can tell when they didn't get it, because then they start bickering and fighting with each other. And instead of it blowing up into a huge thing, then like this one time in particular, I keep thinking about. So my oldest daughter was, picking on the one right under her. And instead of like dealing with that, like it's the fire that we have to put out, I separated them. I focused on connection with the older daughter. I was reading her story. She was getting some good mommy time. And then out of nowhere, like the book's not even finished yet, she's like, okay, I'm ready to go play with her sister, and then they got along great. So I think one misconception that we have, and we've got to change our mentality about this, is that connection is some sort of reward that they need to earn. Because if you look at that situation and you're like, they're fighting and I rewarded her bad behavior by reading her a story. Let's just think about that for a second, because I think a lot of us grew up thinking that sort of thing. And it's ridiculous. Like, connection is not something that they earn. They just inherently deserve that from us, no matter what they're doing. And if they're behaving badly, it's an indication that there wasn't enough connection or attention or whatever need isn't being met. So meeting their needs is not rewarding bad behavior. It's doing our job as a parent, right? And so if she needs more connection and that's manifesting in picking on her sister, like punishing her or whatever isn't going to teach her anything, except that's another tangent. So anyway, connection for cooperation. This is what I'm trying to stay focused on. But as you can tell, I have all sorts of things I would love to talk about. So we'll get to them in subsequent videos. But just for today, connection for cooperation. It's really magical. It's like as soon as they start, and you want to catch it early but when you can tell that they're kind of starting to quote unquote misbehave, they're kind of losing their marbles, the connection to us is what keeps them on board. So another example, we'll go back to bedtime. Before bed, they need to brush their teeth, right? And what the power struggle to get them to brush their teeth, right? Isn't that one of the worst? And so instead of like, you're doing your thing, they're doing their thing, they're like playing so nice, and then you're like, holy cow, it's so late, because they always play so nice at bedtime. Have you noticed this? I think I'm hearing the garage. Our peaceful time together is about to be up. So let me quick with this example and we'll wrap up. Anyway, power struggle, bedtime. Yeah, so we're both doing our own things and all of a sudden we're like, let's just get them to bed. And then we rush them, blah, blah, blah. It's the same as in the morning, right? We're rushed, we're stressed, not connective, right? So if we can think of ways that we can, maybe go into their world with them, what they're playing with, and like play with them, some good connection there. Then we're like, okay, what do we need to do to get ready for bedtime? Oh, brush our teeth. And then it's their idea, they want to do it, right? Again, that power struggle, the battle of wills. If it's their idea, they're much more likely to do it. So anyway, much more to come, but that's all we've got time for apparently today. I got to get back to practicing what I'm preaching, right? Okay, I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.